Today is the birthday of Jonathan Frid, who played Barnabas Collins on the classic horror soap opera Dark Shadows. And after Bela Lugosi's Dracula, he is my favorite vampire. When Dark Shadows began in 1966, it was a gothic romance about a governess working for the Collins family. But faced with low ratings, creator-producer Dan Curtis began incorporating the supernatural. As a child, he was terrified of Dracula. So after about a year, he decided to create his own scary vampire.
By 1967, Jonathan was a well-experienced Shakespearean stage actor. He had played Caliban in The Tempest, Macbeth, and his favorite role, Richard III. And he believed that when you play a villain, that you should try to find the humanity in the character, thus making them more real and more unpredictable.
Dark Shadows writer Ron Sproat had seen Jonathan do that at Yale Drama School and wrote for that.
And Barnabas Collins became a vampire the audiences cared about. Now, audiences having sympathy for a monster was nothing new, but with a 5-show-a-week soap opera, they never identified with one the way they identified with Barnabas Collins.
Dan Curtis had planned to eventually kill off Barnabas, but the ratings started getting so high that Barnabas actually became the main character. Because of the public's fascination, Dan decided to go back in time to 1795 to tell the Barnabas origin story. He also decided to use all the regular actors and have them play the new roles, and he brought on more supernatural characters. These became signature aspects of Dark Shadows, and changed the game of what was possible on daytime TV. And it was all because of Jonathan's portrayal of Barnabas Collins.
Kids across America were running home from school so that they could get home in time to watch Dark Shadows. Jonathan was getting an average of 1,500 fan mail letters every day, and there were even fans hanging out outside the studio. And Jonathan was always really nice to them. Along with signing autographs and taking photos, he also did these fan mail parties. Now, these were great for him because the kids would help him go through his fan mail. But they got to hang out with Jonathan Frid, and he was always a good sport.
They didn't call it that then, but one of their favorite things to do was to photobomb him with this little devil doll.
Now, I met Jonathan Frid at the 2007 Dark Shadows convention. He hadn't been to a convention in 10 years, and when the announcer said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we present Mr. Jonathan Frid," he came in all hunched over with a cane. But when he got on stage, he started dancing and twirling the cane in the air. It was like meeting Willy Wonka.
He did a question and answer session. He performed dramatic readings, and he personalized about 800 autographs. Speaking as an audience member, it felt magical to be there. We cheered and applauded, and some people even said, "We love you," and he was so engaging and had such a great sense of humor that it felt like he loved us too. He even pretended to bite Catherine Lee Scott. A few days after the convention, he even made a post about how wonderful the audience was. He said it takes two to tango, and he thought we made a great team. Jonathan Frid was a middle-aged gay Shakespearean stage actor whose actual goal was to teach drama at a university. He never imagined he'd become a horror icon, but he set a stellar example of what a horror icon should be. So happy birthday, Jonathan Frid. I'll see you at the family mausoleum.